Hey guys, editor Sam in here coming in hot. This episode was recorded while we were both in remote locations, and we learned a lot in this process. So if you are watching this on YouTube, what's up? Thank you. Please stick around. The video is a little wonky for this one, but we promise the content is worth it. And if you're listening to the audio, I think I fixed that part, so you should be good to go. Please subscribe, like, follow, listen, all of the things, and enjoy today's podcast.
Working
Welcome
after
back. We'll come up with some phrase. Obviously, episode 2, we're still workshopping this, but working actor life. I'm Sam Valentine.
I'm Gabrielle Binloss.
That's it. And I am currently in Oregon, and you are in Florida.
I'm in Florida, reluctantly, but also lovely. But we all know about Florida, right?
But you've been at a beach, and I've been at like a river.
Yeah, you've been at a river doing very active things, and I have been at a beach sitting. It's been great.
And has it been awesome?
It's been fantastic. The first 2 days was like a tropical storm. And then yesterday was our first day of sun. So we went to the beach for maybe 6 hours. We were there for a good bit of time. And then we're going to go right after this as well. And then I'll be heading home tomorrow.
Yes.
It's been nice and relaxing.
Have you had auditions?
I did.
Wait, I haven't had a single one.
You haven't?
Not a single thing has come through. Well, tomorrow's Labor Day. It's a holiday weekend. So I wasn't shocked. But yeah, no, I haven't had a single thing.
I had one come in when we left on Thursday morning, and it said specifically it's due Tuesday at 7. So right after Labor Day, 7 p.m. So they did at least give you that in between. But I'm going to try the pan.
She's going to have camera movement. Is it theatrical or commercial?
Theatrical.
Great. TV or film?
Film. Movie. Lifetime.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can totally have camera movement.
I was like, this is the perfect one to try camera movement with, where I don't have to feel any type of way about it.
Yes.
It's a Christmas movie, a real Christmas movie. I will report back next week when we record this and see how it goes.
Yes. I'm so glad it's not due till Tuesday, so you don't have to struggle to find a Christmas style outfit whilst at the Florida beach.
Oh my gosh. I brought all of my stuff and I was like, maybe we'll tape it tonight, which is a joke.
No.
And then I'm probably going to tape it tomorrow, but now I for sure will, because if it's Lifetime, you've got to be in some type of a Christmas something.
No, you can't do it in that hoodie. You got to have like a cute sweater. It's got to be like green or red. Well, depending on the character it is, but I would like to see it. We can talk about it later. But just
Yeah, we can
one,
talk about
just
it.
one audition.
Just one audition that came in. And are you guys driving home tomorrow?
Yes, 12 hours.
Let me tell you something. I was a giant baby in the car for our drive. That was 5 hours, in case anybody was wondering. Sam and Caleb do road trips like nobody's business. They love it. They live for it. They listen to like books. I, on the other hand, am the worst road trip person in the entire world. I'm just like trying to fill space with talking, and then I don't like the music too loud because it's distracting. I also don't love that my husband decides to drive with like a gas pedal only. So we're either accelerating or we're
Decelerating. There's no braking.
there's no braking. So it's like so I was like, I'm gonna divorce him. I think that this is where it happens, on the in-between of the Georgia to Florida state line.
You would not be the first couple to get divorced on the Georgia-Florida state line. I would guarantee it.
How has your vacation been? Have you been able to turn the actor brain off while you've been
Yeah.
gone? Lots of
Like,
family time is what
completely.
you've had. Wow.
Every time I'm here, I get like 3 or 4 auditions, which actually is fun because behind me is my mother-in-law's closet, and she has so many clothes and we wear basically the same size. And so every time she really enjoys it. She only had sons. So when I come in, we're basically playing dress up and she loves it. Half the time I come out of something in that closet, she's like, you will take that home.
Didn't you do something for something Texan or country?
Yeah.
Or when you were there? What was it for?
It was Walker, Texas Ranger, when
Walker,
they did that
Texas
for,
Ranger.
was that CW?
Yeah, I think it was. It only got one season, right? She had the perfect
Yeah.
outfit. You looked killer.
I had a hat. I had a Western shirt. It was perfect. Although my managers at the time were like, we don't love the cropping of this. And I was like, the cropping of the rest of this was an Airbnb. So you're going to take what you get and they're going to like it. But no, that worked out really well. So usually when I'm here, something at least comes in. Last time I was here, actually, I get really fun auditions when I'm here. I'm kind of surprised. In the corner of this room, I did an audition for the Pitt. And it was the one where there's 7 different characters in the scene. And I
Yes, I
dug
remember
open
this.
their clue cards. I'll repost the reel because it's actually really fun. But I tacked up their clue character cards in different spaces all around my self-tape so I could have specific eye lines for specific characters. And it was really helpful. And I was really proud of how that tape turned out. And it must have been good
Yeah.
because I got a second audition for the show this season. And that's how I know.
Yeah, that's how you know
That's
you
my
did a
only
good job.
tracker.
The other thing you did well with that is like you picked the clue cards that resembled what you felt like the characters would be in terms of like their
Yes.
essence. So when she was looking at like Professor Plum, she already had some type of a feeling from Professor because it's like the clue card that we all grew up with. I just remember logging on and being like, that was hella smart, especially when you've got 7 different characters. Question: did you use all 7 eye lines or did you keep it like 3 here, 4 here? What'd you do?
Because the different characters who spoke in that audition, it was the mother of, if anybody saw the first season, it's all out, so I can talk about it. It was the mother of the kid who accidentally ate an edible, a weed gummy. And she's panicking and she's like a really well put together mother and her kid's like on a schedule and all these things are right. And it turns out her husband accidentally left weed gummies in his pocket and the kid ate it. Which if you watch it, I'm like, that girl did a great job. Very different from me, like uncomparable. We're totally different actors. And we did the scene completely differently and it was so fun to watch that take. The character has different feelings, in my opinion, about each person she talks to and each person who talks to her, because it's like the doctor who she trusts, the doctor she doesn't trust, the nurse who's just taking up space, her husband, her child. She has different opinions about all of them and so different relationships with each of them. So that was really useful to me. So I did use them for that. That scene just took a little extra work because I had to remember which lines came from which character. But as soon as I know that Mrs. White and Colonel Mustard to me are 2 very different people. If you were doing this, I would say we could use your tarot cards and you could have the ones that I got you, like the R&B stars or
Oh
something like
yeah, you
that.
got me the hip hop star tarot card. So it's like the
Yeah.
death card will be like a certain rapper, the magician card will be a certain rapper, and they were all women
Yeah.
and they were so
Yes.
good. Yes, I would absolutely do it. So I could be looking at Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and Meg the Stallion while recording my audition. Yes.
And just the way
Queen.
you said that makes me think that you have different relationships with those people. Like there's been times where I've actually done, I'm starting to get into my mom era, which I know you've been in for a long time. So I'm just like catching up with you, where I have auditions where I have to cry over my kid or something like that. And so I actually have a little picture of my sister when she was a kid. I have a scene where there was a horror movie where I had to run into frame and like my kid was standing in the front yard and was almost hit by a car or something like that. And I ran up and grabbed him and shake him. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And so I put that tiny little picture of my sister right to the side of camera. So when I came in and grabbed the camera, I'm like looking right at my sister. And this is a little kid that I'm familiar with. So that was a lot easier. So if anybody's listening to this and struggles with those auditions, sometimes that makes it easier to like really personalize it, especially as someone who doesn't have kids. But that's a little hack that was really useful when we did that audition together.
I
Also, why
never
you
thought
need
about
actor friends is
yes.
because you were able to read that with me without me looking at you. I
Yes.
don't even think I used you.
No, I really think I was like, please don't use me. But
So
I've never thought about using a picture in front of me of someone. I don't know why I've never thought about that. So I'm stealing that. And then I had a follow up
yeah.
question. I think this is a big controversial thing in our industry watching whoever booked the role that you auditioned for. And I've heard 2 different ways that this goes. Either somebody being like, I can't believe they booked it. I'm more talented than them. I did the same thing. I don't know why they got it. Or then you have us that's like watching it for educational purposes. So when this kind of stuff happens, truthfully, do you want to hide in a hole when you see who booked it? Or do you hide in the hole, then crawl out and figure out like what you're going to do next time? How do you approach it?
I used to do it very homework assignment-y. I would go back to my audition log and then go find the show and then watch it. I don't do it like that anymore. Oftentimes I just find myself watching shows like, oh, I auditioned for this, or I get excited to see. And to me, I don't really learn as much from it. I get reminded that it's selection and not a hierarchy of skill, because sometimes I'll watch something and I'm like, huh, I liked mine better. And then sometimes I look at it and I'm like, oh, they really made this small, or they edited out all the stuff that I liked or whatever. And that I think is more interesting to see like the business side of things. Oh, they needed this actress with brown hair to be in this corner and to be tiny because it was really more interesting to the scene that she was so small and meek and then she got so big, whatever. And I realized it's just a vibe is so different. And yeah, I don't approach it the same way I used to, which used to be, what can I do better? But by the time it gets to my screen, you and I both know it's been through so many filters. The way that person auditioned for it is probably not what you're seeing on screen. It's very rare because wardrobe has to get okayed by the showrunner and or maybe the network. And then, the script might change and then the scene might change. And then the day of, the lead character might change his lines, which changes what they do. And then the director takes it and then the editor takes it and then the network signs off on it. So by the time you're seeing what's on screen, it's distilled so many times over that I don't even know if I can compare this to my audition anymore because they're so different. Go back and watch.
I used to never go back and watch. I've started to, probably this year. And I think mainly because I just was interested in seeing who it was. A lot of what I learned from it is, yeah, how to kind of like what you said, how to play something different than what my knee-jerk reaction is. I think something that we tell people all the time in membership is bring yourself to the role regardless of what the breakdown is. And a lot of times when I go back and I watch it, that person has something about them, some essence that I'm like, oh, even if I tried to do that, they would be like, this girl's acting. This is not a good take on her. So it's always been helpful now to go back because it is what you said, like very different than the way I would have played it. But I do like to file that away. Okay, well, maybe at some point I want to play with that variation and see where it fits in my skin, like in my body. So it's helpful for me to see a different way because I don't know about you, but sometimes when I read a script, I see it one way and that's it. I don't see it any other way when it's my audition. Obviously, when I'm reading for somebody else, I'm like, whoa, look at all these ways you can go. But for me, I'm like,
Yes.
that's what it is. And then I see it on the thing. I'm like, oh, no, it could have gone a different way.
Once again, not to harp on this, but also to harp on this, it's really great why you have actors who are very good at this alongside you. Because if it was some rando actor I just found wherever to read with, I don't know if I would trust their opinion. But when I read with you and you're like, oh, interesting, I read it like this, I trust that. I'm curious about what you did versus, someone I don't trust or don't know very well. And when you say you file it away, personal question for the way my brain works. Does it just live in your brain? Do you write it down? Where does that information go?
Oh, yeah, it lives in my brain.
Oh, isn't it?
I
Don't
know.
isn't it tired? Aren't you tired in there?
No, because I don't give it that much attention. Like it's just there.
But you remember it when you need to.
Yeah, it kind of just pops up when I need it to. I'm like, oh, I remember that one time I saw the thing and she did it this way and I wanted to try it that way. But you know that I have a very removed perception of my career. Like it's not a giant reflection of if I'm good enough. And I do think that if I had, that would probably stay more of like in my forebrain than in my back brain. But the way that I can't like do the whole writing down thing that I've learned from acting class and then be like, okay, what do I want to try from classes today? Oh, that's right. The teacher said this. And then bring that into my audition. I'm so type A that it becomes to follow how this goes so you can execute. And so if I just trust that it's somewhere in my brain, then I can just allow whatever to come through is what comes through and just like trust that's enough. Otherwise, I can't be creative. Then I'm just like executing to get like a gold star because I read my notebook and my notebook said to do it this way. And so now I'm doing it this way. And don't you like it?
When you first started in acting classes or like just generally in this work, did you have notes? Because sometimes I
Yes.
watch people jot down acting class notes and I'm like, what are you writing?
Yes. I had notes, highlighters. I had the little thingies to figure out which page is what with the different colors, like pink,
The tabs?
yellow, like the tabs.
Very
Yes.
satisfying. I tab books I like to remember now. Love a marker, like a little post-it.
Yeah, and I think sometimes as actors, we just like to say that we're doing shit. And so we're like, I did this. I studied it. I took these notes, and now I am a good actor. But it's like you never really did any acting on the in between of it. And so you still have to record the audition at the end of the day. That was me before as an actor. Like, I did it. I did all of the work that I'm supposed to do.
If I write things down now, it's because I want to remember to tell the membership about it later, or I want to
Oh,
make
yeah.
something out of it. So I finished the advanced commercial class at Ross Lacey, which is a big office in LA. And it was a great refresher of practicing being in the room because a lot of our commercial auditions are going back into the room. And so I'm glad I did it for that reason. I need to be reacquainted with this office. They're great. it was all run by an audition runner. Her name was Joy that I took the class with. And so now if I go to 200 South La Brea, where all half the auditions are, and I see Joy, it's like, oh, familiar face. I'm comfortable. I already know. That was great. But I was writing things down that I was like, oh, I forgot that we need to tell people about this because we're doing a commercial boot camp class inside of the membership right now. I'm like, oh, I forgot we need to tell people about like how hard group scenes are and like, oh, these little things. And so I added a bunch of that to my notes. And that's kind of what I'm writing down these days is like, what can I do or remind myself of for later? Because my brain works so differently than yours. I can't hold a thought for very long. So it's so stressful to try and, I must remember to get dog food later. I must remember to get dog food later. And it just takes up so much energy to try and remember that. So the kind of notes don't serve me either.
Yeah, I'm interested to see whoever watches this or listens to it. If you do take notes and they serve you, I want to know how, or is it pigeonholing you? Is it pigeonholing you into only doing it a certain way? I'm sure there's somebody out there that it does serve them to do it. I just had somebody ask me this in a class I'm working on. I hate this question. What is your method that you study for your acting career? I'm like, what do you mean? And they're talking
Like a
about like
Stanislavski, a Meisner.
Stanislavski,
Yeah.
Meisner. Which one are you? And I'm like, I don't use any of those. And then that always comes with the, a little bit of a judgment face. You don't use any of those? I'm like, no, because who is doing that now? Who is approaching? Okay, let's bring up weapons. Do you think that they used Meisner or Stanislavski or Huda Hagen while they were doing weapons?
No, because they had their script pages and they were like, we need to make this thing look good on camera. And also, you need to do it right here in this direction with this light pole here. I think those were really lovely things in terms of getting people going and getting a groundwork set in the beginning. I think the way that it's a business is probably moved past a lot of that now. I just did my first theatrical thing on stage in forever. So I don't know what that would serve necessarily away from camera. I think it's technically already in what we're doing. We just don't realize it because we've been in so many classes and done so many things that the good stuff sticks and what you need to comes back. An example of that would be in college. I did a lot of what was it called? Not it was in voice and movement class, viewpoints. Viewpointing for those of you. Did you do
I've heard
viewpoints?
about this. I did do viewpoints.
No, we'd basically have a big empty dance hall and we'd spend like 45 minutes like walking around and like making shapes with our body and then
I hate
doing
it.
things and like
I hate it already.
but I will tell you that
What?
sometimes I am in a space and I'm like, oh, like I'll just move a little bit differently because I'm like, oh, this feels good. This is interesting. Like this looks cooler on camera because I'm just like making a shape with my body instead of just
So you took from it shapes can help inform your performance.
yes. And it
Okay.
just is naturally inside of me now. And I don't need to activate it or go back to my notes or anything like that in order to use it. I think the same is cool about, is it that Meisner exercise that like you and I look at each other and we're like,
Same thing.
how are you? How are
Yes.
you? How are you?
Yes.
I get how that's fun, especially if you're a newer actor, to try to see how much phrasing and how much conversation can change. The words aren't as important as the meaning. And I think that's built in. But if you get too technical with it, you're not going to be present in the scene.
It's funny because earlier we were like, I had two different brains in terms of if I pick something up from something I watched before, you're like, did you put it anywhere? I'm like, no, it's just like in my brain, it's there. But then you were like, no, sometimes I've got to like put those things down. Otherwise, they're just going to stay up in my brain and then it's going to be bothersome. But in your acting career, like you said, you're taking this commercial class and everything else. If you didn't have a membership to bring this information back to, you wouldn't have written anything down. And it would have just been there. And I think the biggest difference between that of like you saying, I got to get dog food, is like dog food lives in is it the right side is the logical brain? I think the right side is the logical brain. I think the left side is the creative.
I believe this.
Listen, we're not scientists. Whoever knows that answer, you can correct
No,
us in
but
the comments.
we
But,
can play
like,
one on TV.
we can play that and a doctor on TV if you need us to rescue you, we can. But the brain like works in two different functions. And so your logical brain is like, no, I need to write this down, otherwise I'm going to forget it. But your creative brain is like, great, I experienced it, it's been stored, I can keep it there, and it will come up when it needs to come up. And that I think is why I hate that question so much, because it's like, What do you want me to tell you? What do you want me to let you know so that you feel like I'm qualified as an actor? Like, why are we
Mm.
asking these questions of ourselves when it's such an artistic pursuit? Like, my
Mm.
viewpoint of whatever I do, you may or may not like, and that doesn't mean that I'm not talented. It means that through your eyes, you didn't like it, and that's fine. But you're not going to look at it and be like, well, you did Uta Hagen, which is why you didn't approach this the right way. Get out of here. That's not how.
You know what's funny is that I took that question as like someone's sheerly curious and they want to know
No, they
what
don't.
I do. And you were
No.
like, this is a challenge and you're
That
judging.
is. Yes, it's the same old question of what agency are you with? And if I'm in a better agency with you, I feel better. And if you say an agency that's better than me, I may or may not try to get a referral. That is this industry.
It
You
is.
disagree.
But I just, no, I don't disagree. I just think that my brain doesn't go there naturally.
Well, yeah,
Like,
because you're a nice person. It's a
I did.
natural. You're
No, you're a
nice.
nice person. You're just passionate and protective. We've talked about this. You are a nice person. You just don't waste your energy on people who haven't earned it yet. And I have so much energy to give. I assume everyone's great until they prove me otherwise.
I
And
sound
that
like a
is the
serial
difference.
killer, and you sound like a princess.
Yeah, and neither of those things are accurate.
They aren't accurate. They
But
aren't.
together we could run a crime ring.
If you can make it past the front gate entrance, which is me telling you that it's okay, you'll be able to make it in, and Sam will be able to. And you
Welcome.
can do whatever you need them to do. But no, you're right. I mean, I don't think that everybody's asking this question in terms of let's challenge each other, but I do think that there's this unspoken challenge that happens with actors. I think it's kind of bred into us too because we are doing auditions with each other and we are watching other people get things. And anytime you tell somebody you're an actor, I feel like at some point they're like, wow, it's super competitive. How do you feel like you're going to make it? Like it is something we're told a lot, but it's also something that I think comes from a lot of fear of are
Yeah.
they doing something more that I should be doing? But that is, as you know, for me, I'm like, just do your own thing. You don't need to know what I'm doing. And you might actually criticize what I'm doing because it's not a technique. You're not going to like it.
It's like the ultimate FOMO of what do you have that I don't? What secret are you keeping? And it's just not, I have no, if you were like, describe your acting technique, I'd be like, I read the script and watch the content and do my job. When I was in the show recently, somebody was like talking about artsy stuff, and I was like, I'm just not that artsy. And they were like, no, I think you are. I was like, no, I'm really good at my job, and my brain lends itself to the creative, but I'm not like, ooh, let's like meditate in this character and let's like that's just not my vibe. And if it gets somebody else where they need to go, more power to you.
Yeah.
Go get them, Tiger. I have so much other shit going on, and so do you. You know, it's the ultimate, I think. Ooh, this is going to upset some people.
Yeah,
Shall
it did.
we? Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, you do it.
The
You do it.
ultimate selfish move to me is people who choose to be fully method for long periods of time.
Ooh, tell me
So,
more.
I'm gonna play a homeless person, so I need to go live amongst homeless people, or I need to go like sleep outside for 6 months. Do you have family? Do you have friends? Are you gonna give up all of that? It's so self indulgent and it's so not realistic for most people. Like the cast of The Bear, they shadowed chefs in restaurants for a while. Cool. But they didn't stop being themselves in order to be a chef at a restaurant. You didn't give up their life. And like, cool, Daniel Day-Lewis, get after him. But I don't think that's realistic to what we do now, especially in how quick this industry moves. Yeah, I mean, I had that woman who was like living in an RV who was addicted to drugs, who was homeless like a couple months ago, remember? And that one was really hard for me because it's way out of my wheelhouse. I did a great job on that audition, and I didn't need to go live outside or not shower for 2 weeks to get it because that's fucking rude.
Yeah, I think it's like actor masturbation. It goes back to that
Yes!
same to-do list thing of like I did all the things. I'm living method. I wrote down all my notes. I put my beats and objectives on everything, and I studied
Yes.
for this, and I am now ready. We just want to feel important. What is that quote? Actors have giant, giant egos, but tiny self-esteem or something along those lines. And it's like, yeah, I think that's true. Like, you want to tell me that you're doing all this amazing stuff, but then at the end
Yeah.
of the day, we're all just wanting to be told Good job. I believed you. I can't wait to see what you do next. That's it. That's all that everybody's trying to run after. And
Yeah.
we can get lost in the idea of what are you studying? Where are you going? What's your process? How long did you take to sit in a character? Did you actually live that life before? When in reality, we are not at that level to be saying something like that. We are not getting paid to be doing that, first of all, in
No.
your own like life. Like, what are you going to check out of work for 2 weeks while you go live
Yeah.
in a trailer for a little
Once
bit? Like, what
again,
is the plan?
reeks of privilege.
Yes, yeah. I wish you would have
Yeah.
texted me and said like, "Hey, I can't take care of the membership. I just got this audition, and I need to go and spend a little bit of time out in the town."
It's also super dangerous because how often do I have auditions of women who are just downing alcohol and out partying and stuff? Oh, am I going to lose my husband over
Yeah, I
this
just was gonna
audition?
say,
Like,
Caleb would have had a
please.
fucking field day. He would have called me and been like, "You need to come get your girl. She's
Yeah,
lost her
something's wrong.
shit. She has lost her
She's in a
shit."
tube top and she's at a club. It is. He'd be like, "It's 9:30 on a Tuesday. We have to be in bed."
And then here I come turning on all the lights of the club. Everybody needs to go. Everyone needs to go. I brought up my vacuum the way I did in college. I started vacuuming. That way people would leave my house party that I threw. Yes, at 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. That's what Hannah and I did. My roommate Hannah was a big
You
partier. I was
vacuumed
not. I would
to
start
get
to
people to
vacuum.
leave your house.
Yeah, everybody would leave. I put trash cans on all the doorknobs and I said, "Collect your trash and I'm going to vacuum." They'd be out by 10 and they would all go down to the bars. So I would employ the same tactic to get you out of the club. The same thing. Trash bags on doorknobs, vacuuming, lights on. We
I
would have hated
can't
each other in college.
believe you vacuumed to kick people out. I was terrible. I was always the last person to leave a party in
Oh
college.
my God, that's so
Yeah.
annoying,
Could not
Sam.
take a hint. Could not take. If there was a guy there that I liked, buckle up because I am living there now. Yeah. Speaking of reeks of desperation and ego, I just wanted to
What
be
are
cool.
you doing with
I
this
don't know,
dude?
but I don't even think I had a vacuum in college. Well, I
On
don't
your
think
floor.
I lived in a dorm first, and so I think we probably just swept it. And then I lived in the
Oh,
sorority
you were a
house.
sorority house.
Yeah, for
Did you guys
two
have
years.
like house cleaners? Did somebody come to clean the house?
Oh, get this shit. You were in charge of your own room, but the people who would like do the dishes and do general pickup were houseboys, who were guys who were in the fraternity. And one of them, I had an on again, off again thing with. And then when he was super over it, he was still in my kitchen every day. It was hell. Houseboys.
What requirements is it to be a houseboy?
I don't. You have to like have the free time to clean up after the girls. I don't know. I didn't
What did they
interview.
get? What did they want? Did they get to date like a Delta Zeta?
Unfortunately, nobody had to qualify to date us, or else I would have probably saved myself a lot of time and energy. That would have been great if someone could have filtered the dudes.
Another good place for me to be. This is another good
I
place.
you with a vacuum being like, "What are your intentions with my friend?"
Oh, you're here to date Sam Valentine? All right, sit down. Let's have a conversation.
Once again, you would have hated me in college because I was like, "This is so fun. I'm gonna be a movie star when I move to LA. Right now, I'm just gonna like sleep with frat boys and like." Wah. Nope,
I
you
will sleep
wouldn't have
with this
stepped
little
foot.
houseboy.
I did that. You wouldn't have stepped foot in my sorority house.
No, you couldn't have found me there. Nope.
No, but it was so fun. But yes, you swept house parties. I don't know. The boys got paid. Like, I'm sure they got paid like $10 an hour, $12 an hour.
Where did this money come from? Because weren't you the treasurer?
Oh, that was a bad year. I was a treasurer just because I wanted a job. I wanted a superior job and I thought it would be cool. And then I realized it was a really bad job for me. I hate dealing with stressful things. I could like send people to collections. You could ruin someone's life with that. I don't want
You
that.
could. That's definitely not a job for you.
Not no too many feelings. So no, I did that, but then I became social chair. That was my jam.
right.
I loved being social chair. That was really fun. But
Fascinating to hear about this woman.
I know she's a very different girl, but she made it. She made it to here. I can't believe you vacuumed to kick people out of your house.
I probably have footage of it somewhere.
I would like everyone to know that when we were at a dinner at the actors retreat in Hollywood we did this year, we finished dinner and Gab looked around. She goes, "All right, I'm done." At the end of dinner, we're done here. We're going to go. You guys have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow in the morning. Because we had yoga first thing in the morning, so we were going to see everyone. And she just literally folded her napkin and she goes, "I'm done."
Okay,
Which is so good It's so good for me to have that person in my life because my social meter, I get upped. Like I'm an extrovert, so I get the
Yeah.
energy from being around people.
Yeah.
Like I need someone to be like, you are actually tired. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, wait, I am really tired.
Yeah, we still had other requirements to do. Plus, those types of things, it was like the
Tons.
first day where you're meeting a lot of people in person. I feel like it could have gone on for ages on end. And I had flown in from Atlanta. We had done a whole photo
That
shoot for
morning,
ourselves, and then we had
yeah.
done an entire dinner with everybody, an entire meet and greet. It was just too much. Okay, we need to roll the into this episode out with what are you watching or
Weapons.
what have you been watching?
I want to know what you thought of Weapons.
Yeah.
Did you not like it? Did you see it in theaters?
I saw it in theaters. I was
Okay.
recommended to see it in theaters. I thought it was like an audience participation thing, which I agree.
Mm.
It was cool to see in theaters, especially if you haven't watched Weapons, you should turn this off now. We're going to give you a second.
Three, two, one. Okay.
Great. All of the like comedy that was mixed into the horror, I thought was brilliant. And the audience was fun to be able to watch that with. I loved all of the different camera angles. I thought they were so clever and so smart. I just I loved the perspective of being told it from everybody's different perception and then having to
Uh
put it
huh.
together at the end. Loved the acting in it. Agree with you on the lack of diversity. But what is the overall message of the movie? What did I miss?
You mean like a takeaway theme or
Yeah.
something? I didn't come into it looking for that. So
Okay.
I don't know if there was. You know, it's so funny. When I wrote my short film, somebody was like, what are you trying to say here? And I was like, I don't know. It's entertaining. You need to.
Every rom com ever. Yeah. Okay. Fair
I
enough.
don't know. It's fun. They're like, no, you need to have like a thought. Like, what are you trying to show people? I'm like, ugh. It's a great question. I didn't really think about that. I wonder what
I mean,
Caleb would think because he thinks about these things in larger perspectives.
I
I'll
did
ask
want to know
him.
Caleb, and especially since he writes, this is his genre. He
He
writes
loves this like
horror.
slight comedy with a
Yeah.
horror. This is his wheelhouse. Yeah.
But to your point, not everything has to have a whole reason. It could just be good and artistic and well done. But the part that really fucked me over was why was there that AK whatever the gun about what the fuck?
Yeah.
What is
So
that?
as you said this, I was like, I wonder if that's the takeaway message is that we, I'm going to get, hold on, this is going to be such a reach, but come on this journey
Okay.
with me, folks.
Okay. Okay.
What if the message was weapons are such a thing that we see now in schools and in children, and in this, the woman weaponized the children?
I got lost. Can you help me again?
I don't know if I can. It's not really fleshed out. As you said that, I was like, yeah, he did have that dream where there was the AK-47 over the house, but the AK-47 is the gun that is always used in
That's
school
true.
shootings. So, not always. Unfortunately, we have a litany to choose from in this country.
Florida, they're everywhere.
Oh my God, they're in Oregon too.
I thought Oregon
Yeah.
was liberal.
This city we're in is, but like anywhere, I mean, if you go Northern California, it gets a little 50-50.
That's true.
I think the gun floating over the house had that vibe of
Yeah.
a parent's worst nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that if we wanted to create a theme, the whole thing was called Weapons. They used that word like one time in the whole film. And so maybe it is how one person can weaponize masses, or at the end, the children were utilized as weapons. How do they come back from that versus like a school shooting? I don't know. I think because that gun was in there, I'm like, that has to have something to do with it. And it happened in like, due to the lack of diversity, a nice mostly white neighborhood. You saw some like small black children, but I was like, that's it. And then like the head of the school is an Asian man, and I'm like, everything else is like white people.
Which I told Sam is ironic because they filmed this in my neighborhood and around in my town, which is a predominantly black town. It's 90% black people.
It was in your neighborhood?
Yeah, we can walk to almost all the different shots that they did it at the schools and stuff. It was all filmed over in my neighborhood. There were a couple moments where Corey and I were like, I don't know if I can walk back to that house anymore. Like, that was weird.
Is it walkable from you guys?
I don't know if that house is walkable, but the school is, the convenience store is, the where she almost gets eaten gas
Yeah,
station and
yeah.
stuff is. Yeah, yeah. The other thing I read about weapons that was neat was that the 217 was a throwback to The Shining because it's the room 217 is when that happens.
Oh,
And
that's
then,
funny.
oh,
Caleb thought it was because there was 2 people left and 17 missing.
oh, exactly.
Maybe it's both.
It's got a couple meanings. The writer's best friend passed away in a car accident at 2:17 a.m. So it was in honor of that person. I know, it's beautiful. And then I think there's some law that got passed about guns and children, and it's called something of 217. So I need to look that up too. But I did like that it has multiple meanings and not just one. I just found myself at the end being like, super well done, really enjoyable to watch. Is there a point? And I think it's also my personality of like wanting there to be a point, because then I'm like, what are we doing? But that's just me, because I have a problem doing things just to do them. Huh. What did you think?
I loved it. But I can also turn my brain off when I go to the movie theater sometimes, and I can say, this is just a fun time, like the way I felt when I watched F1
Yeah,
the first
you did
and
watch
second
that.
time.
I know. You told me to go see it. You're like, it's actually pretty good. I was like, I don't
You
think
still
I'm
haven't
gonna
seen
waste
it?
No, why? Isn't that like Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise? Who is it?
Tom Cruise is not in that movie. It is Brad
Are you
Pitt
sure?
and a bunch of other people. I'm 100% sure Tom Cruise is not in F1.
White men, they just really get
Do they
me
all run
every
together?
time. Tom Cruise is not in F1. I could have sworn that's who it was. Wait, who is
Are you
it?
joking? No, it's Brad Pitt.
Isn't one blonde and the other one brunette? I thought
Tom
it was
Cruise
the
has
blonde
brown
guy.
hair. It is. Did you get your white boys mixed up?
Okay, so it's that, and now you're Googling.
Also, Javier Bardem is in it, and Damson Idris is in it, and he is great.
But it's mainly about that guy, the Brad Pitt guy,
Well,
and then
yeah, because he's got to
NASCAR.
green light it, and it's not NASCAR, it's F1.
Okay.
And I could listen. I could give a fuck about car shit. That's not what this is about. I think it's like secondary. I think they spent a good amount of money. They wrote a good story. It had a lot of cliches it could have fallen into that it didn't. Super fun. I would like you to see it because there's two cast members that I'd like to talk to you off camera about, because I think that someone must have been someone's nanny or a friend of a friend. Because I'm like, what are you doing here?
My favorite sentences out of Sam Valentine's mouth is, "I'd like to talk to you about that offline." I love it. It means she's gonna be petty as fuck, and I
I
can't
am.
wait.
I'm like, wait a second. You are. Where was my? Why are? What are you doing here? Well, when everyone else is a 10 and you're a 7, it makes you look like a 2.
That's true. You're being held up to the highest standard.
Yeah, which
I
sucks.
don't know
I
if
get
I'd
it,
put
but
Brad
like,
Pitt on a 10. This is a conversation for a different day.
he fits the realm of this though quite well. That's it. That's all we've watched because we've been so. I mean, I've been rock climbing, I've been river rafting, I've been hiking. Oh my god! Like our dog
Living
has
your
a
best
life
outdoor
vest now.
life.
I am in my chacos. My nails are ruined. I am getting it. But we're listening to a book in the car called The Buffalo Hunter. It's not for you. It's
You don't say.
definitely not for you. It's really good. I'm sure somebody will make a series out of it. And it's super
Really?
dark and very gory, but in a really interesting way. It's about Native Americans and really good.
Definitely could not listen to that while driving.
No, not for you. No happy joys. Did your family watch stuff? Are you guys a family watcher of
Parents are
things?
watching. Yeah, we watched the new British series with the women leading the like prime minister. Netflix, Hostage.
Oh, not familiar.
Oh, it's called Hostage. It's basically women-led drama. It's very good, very fast-paced. Only 6 episodes, limited series, 1 hour each, quick to watch, and really well done.
Like it worked out well to watch with the parents. They understood it. They
Depends
got
on
what
the
was
family.
going
Oh,
on.
yes, the parents understood it. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
There's just killing and hostage situations, so it just depends. When you say
Yeah,
family
yeah, not
show-
like family with kids.
Yes,
but
definitely.
like you could watch it with your parents.
Yeah, and they understand it. And then we tried to watch Untamed. It's a no for me, dog. It's so slow moving. I don't understand why it spent a couple months at the top. I'm not a fan.
What's it on?
Also on Netflix. Did you watch the Love
Where?
Island reunion?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Have you watched it?
No, but I've been avoiding the things like the plague on Instagram and social media.
The memes are being fed to me quite
Yeah.
frequently, but I haven't been really on there very much, so I think I can avoid it until I'll watch it with my workout on Tuesday after this drive.
You're going to work out after the drive? The drive is 12 hours.
Wait, it's today Monday,
Today's Monday, Sam.
so I'll watch it on Wednesday.
Okay.
I keep forgetting.
You're going to
I
drive
keep
12
forgetting.
hours and then work out?
No, because if we leave here at 6, we'll get home by 6, and then
Right. And
we'll
that's
hit
a
LA
nonstop.
traffic.
I'll text you from my 5-hour drive when you're only halfway through your drive.
Yeah, you could. I already got home and took care of my dogs, cleaned my house, vacuumed, so everyone left,
vacuumed.
and filmed my Christmas movie audition. Thanks so much. Talk to you later. Wait,
How's the
real
drive
quick
going for
before I
you?
go.
Yes.
You said on Instagram, this is fun because we haven't talked. You got another episode of the show you're filming? Great. Do you know when it is?
Friday. Yes.
Great.
This coming Friday. Yeah.
Phenomenal. And then they have a wardrobe fitting and everything all set. All
Yeah,
that's
it was
all coming
supposed to
up.
be Tuesday, but luckily it got pushed to Wednesday, which is good because we're driving back on
Great.
Tuesday. So it was going to be one of those like, whatever time they say is we're just going to have to get up and go. And then they pushed filming back. When I was driving down here, it was fitting Tuesday, filming Thursday, and now it's fitting Wednesday, filming Friday. Worked out.
And you can talk about
fantastically.
this.
I don't know if I can talk about the. I don't know. I think so. We can just bleep out that name of the show, and then people be like, "What is it?"
Yeah, sure. I will find a bleep.
Yeah.
Is it on your IMDb?
Uh-uh.
Okay, then no, I should take it off. I think
Okay,
that's
we'll
like
just cut
the
beginning
litmus
of it. I think
test
it
for
should be
now.
cut. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yay! Okay, go be with your family. Good takeaways. We would like to hear how the camera movement goes. I'd like you to put that on your Instagram, how the camera movement goes.
Instagram, and then also cut it because that we can just edit into the second working actor, the third working actor life, so we could talk about it. Oh, done.
I have a way.
More work for us. Takes vacation, creates more work.
Okay, this is so fun, you guys. Share this with your friends. Listen, follow us on Instagram at Sam Valentine, at Gabrielle Bin Lost. This is the Working Actor Life. Keep chatting, keep hanging out.
Okay, bye. Vacuum.